Think you know every secret and story from the Disney and Universal theme parks? Even the most die-hard theme park fans probably haven't heard about everything in today's episode.
We are starting off with one Disney World secret that even the longtime Disney fans think they know, but many may not fully understand. When you are walking through Magic Kingdom, you're not actually on ground level. You're standing on the second floor, and in some areas, even the third floor, of a massive utility structure built underneath the park. When Walt Disney World was being designed, Walt wanted every bit of backstage reality completely hidden from guests. Trash removal, deliveries, costume changes, food prep, none of it was supposed to break the illusion. But Florida's high water table made traditional underground tunnels impossible. So Disney flipped the idea. Instead of digging down, they built up. Magic Kingdom sits on top of a huge concrete and steel superstructure. The lowest level houses utilities, kitchens, break rooms, storage, and trash systems. Guests entering the park unknowingly walk up a slight incline, placing them on the next level. And when you're standing in front of Cinderella Castle, you're essentially on the third floor of a giant building. Beneath it all is nearly 9 acres of crisscrossing corridors called the Utilidors, where cast members, costumes, makeup teams, and even maintenance vehicles move freely, completely out of sight. This hidden infrastructure is one of the biggest reasons Disney feels so seamless. Because everything you're not supposed to see never reaches you. Everyone knows Cinderella Castle, but almost no one ever sees what's hidden inside it. High above the crowds exists one of the most exclusive spaces, not just in Disney World, but arguably anywhere, the Cinderella Castle Suite. This isn't a hotel room you can book. There's no price, no reservation system, and no amount of points that will get you inside. The only way to stay here is by invitation, usually directly from Disney. The suite is fully themed from floor to ceiling. Hand-laid mosaic tiles, stained glass windows that tell Cinderella's story, her glass slipper, crown, and scepter displayed like museum pieces. There's even a fireplace that appears to sparkle with fireworks, and a bathroom straight out of a fairy tale, complete with a tub that lights up like a star-filled night sky. The suite sleeps up to 6 people and includes a private elevator disguised as Cinderella's pumpkin coach. Even modern touches like televisions are hidden behind mirrors so nothing breaks the illusion. And one of my favorite details, the clock inside the suite never strikes midnight. Because in here, the magic doesn't end. It's a reminder that even in a park millions of people visit every year, there are still secrets hiding in plain sight, completely out of reach. Theme park urban exploring exploded in the mid-2000s, and most fans have seen footage from off-limits areas. But what you're about to see are some of the first and most quietly buried cases of illegal backstage access. In the mid-2010s, over the course of several weeks, videos began surfacing online showing people sneaking into Disney World and Universal Orlando long after the parks had closed. These weren't accidents, and people were instantly fascinated with this forbidden peek behind the magic. The footage shows people climbing fences, running through empty parks, and filming backstage areas guests are never supposed to see. One of the most memorable and shocking videos shows 2 men breaking into Universal's Volcano Bay, sprinting through the closed park, and climbing to the top of a water slide. At one point, one of them even considers going down the slide. No water, no staff, and no safety systems active. Another clip shows someone climbing onto Disney's Expedition Everest and standing face to face with the massive Yeti animatronic suspended over the tracks. These videos were among the first of their kind on YouTube uploaded by urban explorer Matt St. Cyr, who later admitted he profited through ads and donations. Law enforcement eventually stepped in, but it didn't stop similar content from spreading through theme parks for years afterward. This kind of thing would be nearly impossible today. Theme parks have cracked down hard, but those early days of theme park and urban exploring are still etched into the memories of fans everywhere. Universal Orlando has been open since 1990. And while a lot of rides and shows are gone, little pieces of them are still hiding in plain sight all over the parks. In the San Francisco area, that big brick archway near Fast and Furious, that used to be the entrance to Earthquake, the big one of Universal's opening day attractions. Guests still walk through it every day without realizing it once led to fire, flooding, and a subway tram being torn apart. Past Diagon Alley, those restrooms? They were once part of Amity Village, home of the Jaws ride. For years, they were the last obvious remnant of the land, complete with a hidden Jaws joke on the restroom signage until a recent refurbishment quietly erased it. Then there's the Simpsons ride, which is still running on the literal skeleton of Back to the Future. Same building, same ride system, same massive screen, different paint. Firehouse 89 once served as the entrance to Ghostbusters Spooktacular, later used by Rip Ride Rocket for ride photos, and now it sits in limbo behind construction walls. And over at Islands of Adventure, the castle queue that once housed dueling dragons, then Dragon Challenge, now feeds into Hagrid's, with pieces of every version still hidden inside. Universal's history isn't gone. It's still quietly watching over the parks and waiting for those who know where to find it. When Universal Studios Florida opened in 1990, they needed a headliner, something bold enough to compete with Disney. That ride was Jaws. Guests boarded boats, cruised through Amity, and were attacked by a 25-foot animatronic shark. It was marketed as cutting edge. But behind the scenes, it was a disaster. Boats stalled, effects failed, sharks didn't appear, or got stuck far too close to guests. Within 2 months, the ride shut down completely. Then came the incident. A guest named Anthony Solomon fell off the boat into the lagoon after a railing reportedly broke, and as he surfaced, the mechanical shark was nearby. Guests applauded, thinking it was part of the show. It wasn't. Solomon later sued Universal for negligence. Universal denied his account, and years later, a ride operator offered a conflicting version. Either way, this was a brand new park and a situation that should have never happened. Universal rebuilt the ride from scratch. It reopened in 1993 and became iconic, but never cheap to operate. In 2012, Jaws closed for good, eventually being replaced by the very first land of the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley. Despite all of its troubled history, the Jaws ride remains a favorite among Universal theme park fans worldwide. This next story isn't just rarely heard of, it's heartbreaking and incredibly tragic. On February 11, 2004, 38-year-old cast member Javier Cruz was working backstage at Magic Kingdom, dressed as Pluto during the Share a Dream Come True parade. Backstage near Frontierland, Javier was fatally injured after being run over by a parade float. Thankfully, no guests witnessed the incident. There are conflicting reports. Some say he tripped, others say part of the costume may have become caught. What's clear is that it was a tragic accident that left his friends, family, and fellow cast members devastated. Months later, OSHA fined Disney and required safety changes. It's an important reminder that behind the characters and costumes are real people, and they deserve protection. Rest in peace, Javier Cruz. Not all theme park accidents are fatal, but that doesn't mean they aren't serious. In 1996, just 1 week after opening, Jurassic Park The Ride at Universal Studios Hollywood suffered a major malfunction. a hydraulic line ruptured near the final T-Rex scene. Instead of water, riders were sprayed with toxic hydraulic fluid, the same kind used in heavy machinery. The ride didn't stop immediately. Boat after boat continued through. Up to 150 guests were exposed. At least 4 were hospitalized with skin irritation, eye pain, and chemical burns. Despite how serious it was, the story faded quickly. However, had this incident occurred in the era of smartphones and social media, this story would likely have been an unforgettable viral sensation. Regardless, the ride was popular, the injuries weren't fatal, and Jurassic Park went on to become a fan favorite, and this incident faded quietly into obscure theme park history. In April of 1995, a padded envelope arrived at Disneyland. Inside was a VHS tape. When Disney security pressed play, they saw disturbing footage: rubber gloves, chemicals, frozen containers, with words on screen reading nerve gas and dead guest. The threat was taken so seriously it triggered a full FBI counter-terrorism investigation and a quiet federal response ordered by President Bill Clinton. Military and public health officials were secretly deployed to the park. Guests never knew. The park stayed open, parades rolled, the magic continued. Years later, the tape was officially labeled a hoax, but FBI records revealed just how close this came to being real. Even stranger, the copy of the tape resurfaced years later at a Goodwill and was unknowingly uploaded online. What makes the story unsettling isn't just the threat, it's how much happened behind the scenes while millions of guests walked the park completely unaware.
Thanks for hanging out with me today on this magical disaster ride. Drop a comment and tell me how many of these stories you already knew. Which one do you think is the most interesting from today's episode? I'd love to hear what you think. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It really helps keep the channel from fading into obscurity, unlike some of today's stories. Until next time, keep your hands, feet, and sanity inside the vehicle at all times. And as always, protect the magic and mock the mayhem. I'll catch you on the next breakdown.